San Antonio police searching for the suspects involved in a robbery early this morning. We'll tell you where this happened and what all took place during the attack.
Plus, we are continuing to follow the big story from yesterday, the case of child endangerment on the northeast side, while we're learning about the parents arrested.
It's runoff election day. You have till 7 o'clock to cast your vote in the primary runoff election. Winners from this one set the stage for the midterms coming up in November.
And taking a look outside with a live cam, we're at 72 degrees. We're expecting rain after maybe not getting as much as we needed yesterday.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And a good morning to you. It is Tuesday, May 24th.
Thanks for joining us. I hope you got some rain yesterday. Some people did.
Yeah, if we don't get it today, Justin said this may be it for the month of May.
This is it. This is our last shot. And I know we didn't get the numbers we wanted yesterday or last night. The storms just did not materialize. But we do have another chance coming up tonight. It looks good. It's along a cold front. And we should see those showers and storms overnight. Let's show you the setup. That front is still up there across parts of West Texas, and it's producing storms up around the Lubbock area as we speak. Some storms down to our south, too. The valley got a good dose of rain overnight. We were kind of caught in the middle. But that front will work its way south, and out ahead of it, we're expecting severe weather. In fact, the Storm Protection Center just upgraded this, and they're putting in numerous severe storms up around Dallas, Waco, over towards the Abilene area. For us, we're on the tail end of it, but scattered severe weather possible tonight as these storms move in. So our rain chances at about 70% tonight, 40% tomorrow morning, but things will be tapering off Wednesday morning. And by Wednesday afternoon, the rain's out of here, and beyond that, the rain chances go away and the heat cranks back up. Pollen count is in, molds are in the moderate category, 550, grass is low at 20. Here's your KSAT 12-hour forecast. 20% chance at 11 a.m., 78 degrees. 85 by 3 p.m., about a 30% chance of a few storms developing. If we do see any storms today, by the way, there's a chance they could be strong. But our better chances of rain start to kick in later tonight. Again, a 70% chance during the overnight period where we could see some pockets of heavy rain, too. We're going to talk all about it, get you set up for the rain tonight, and talk about Memorial Day weekend, too. That's coming up in just a few minutes. Guys.
Thanks, Justin. Let's take a look here at 35 at Eisenhower. We are seeing some flashing lights there at the roadway. Not looking great, but let's get a wide look as we bring you in with that TransGuide camera. You can see that we do have some first responders and what almost looks like a box trailer out there. Right now, a few lanes also closed off, but traffic moving by without any problems. So we'll start here. We're going to take a look at this area in the southbound lanes of I-35 there near Eisenhower Road. Now, we are picking up, our map is that yellow, which is indicating a slight slowdown. Nothing drastic, but just make sure to be careful. Also, move over or slow down anytime you see those emergency lights. Good news here, that crash off of I-37 near Hackberry has cleared. There was a little bit of a slowdown in the northbound lanes, but thankfully that has since picked up and we aren't seeing any issues out there anymore. So get a wide look at the metro area. Everything is looking great, but we do have some active construction zones. As a quick reminder, here off Loop 1604 over on the northeast side of San Antonio, drilling work is taking place now. Keep in mind that is current until tomorrow, or pardon me, Wednesday, May 25th. That's already tomorrow. 9 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon is when we're going to see that work done. There'll be various eastbound and westbound main lane closures, including the frontage road closures. That'll be from Kitty Hawk to Pat Booker. So we'll keep an eye on the roadways, especially here off of 35 at Eisenhower. Just make sure you do the same. Mark, Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephen. It is election day for the Texas primary runoff election, and polls will be open until 7 p.m. You can find a list of polling locations on our website, as well as sample ballots to look at before you head out to cast your vote. We will have election results online as soon as polls close and on air starting on the Night Beat tonight. Later in the show, we're going to talk about the big races we're keeping our eyes on and what to know for the general election in November.
Well, the big story that everyone is still talking about from yesterday, that case of child endangerment at a northeast side apartment complex. We're now getting a look at the couple arrested in that case.
Investigators have identified them as 37-year-old Danielle Kinsey and 33-year-old Paul Kinsey. The mother is said to be an assistant at a local hospital, and the man is said to be a foreigner and the father of 2 of the 4 children found.
Now, the kids were living in the apartment filled with trash and infested with rats. Witnesses called investigators after noticing a strong odor coming from a unit at the Palm Tree Apartments on Montgomery Drive.
And Patty Santos has been following the case and spoke with neighbors who say they never saw or heard anyone fighting or being abused, that it would lead them to call authorities earlier.
We do have a lot of cockroaches. They'll come down, then they leave, then they come back down again.
Neighbors next to this apartment unit say they were forced to endure the smells, rats and insects coming from inside this home, where Bexar County Sheriff deputies found 4 children living in filth.
Piles of trash bags full of old food, feces, animal and human in the apartment, insects, literally rats crawling over the detective's feet. We couldn't figure out how it is that kids have been living in these conditions.
Neighbors say the couple and kids kept to themselves. They also say there were dogs there too, but never saw anyone step outside the unit.
Hard to come out. When DoorDash come and deliver and close the door. That's it.
A tip led detectives to the smell in the second floor so rancid they thought there was a decomposing body inside.
The investigators that are pretty seasoned investigators that are used to dealing with things as bad as decomposing bodies said this is one of the worst they've ever seen. 4
children ages 2 to 13 years old were placed in the care of a relative. Children neighbors say they often heard but never saw outside.
Little boy, little girl up there be just running around. You can hear them jump in the middle of the night like nobody cares. Everybody's asleep.
Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
This, of course, is a story we will continue to follow.
If you need to report a case of child abuse or neglect, you can call the number right there on your screen. That's 1-800-252-5400, or you can report it online at txabusehotline.org.
On your other morning headlines, an athletic feat from a bull at a rodeo turns into a terrifying situation for spectators.
Plus, an important avocado warning and a chaotic California chase caught on camera. Max Massey joins us now live in the studio. Good morning.
Morning, Max.
Good morning, guys. There is so much going on. Also, I apologize for the quadruple alliteration, the California chaotic chase. Yeah. But we are starting with the latest on monkeypox. You've probably seen all the stories, you probably heard the press conferences. The United States is confirming their first case of monkeypox. And here's the thing, there's at least a half a dozen presumptive cases. But health experts say you do not need to panic, but you should be aware of what is happening. Monkeypox is showing up in the United States and other countries around the world. It causes lesions, things like rashes, swollen lymph nodes, even fevers. Experts say doctors need to know if a patient has those symptoms, but the U.S. is releasing monkeypox vaccines from our stockpile, getting it to people at a high risk of infection. Now, the WHO says that smallpox vaccinations also help protect against monkeypox. Health officials say do not worry about this becoming the next pandemic. Cannot emphasize that enough. Monkeypox does spread through very close contact, not through the air, per health officials. They say contact tracing and surveillance could help trace the disease. All right, now to California, where a man who led police on a wild chase in a stolen vehicle, now in custody after being hit with pepper balls, and it was all caught on camera. So let's take a look. This is the chase as it was happening. It started just before 6 o'clock yesterday in San Diego County after the suspect rammed into a patrol vehicle. Moments later, the driver came to a stop in Anaheim, but he still refused to exit the vehicle. Police ended up shooting pepper balls at the man, all in an effort to force him to surrender. But still, even after the pepper balls, he still refused to get on the ground, jumped on the hood of the stolen vehicle as canines pursued him. Eventually, he did give up. Several officers took him into custody all around 7:45. So it lasted about an hour and 15 minutes, and we're still waiting to learn what charges this man will face. All right. If you like avocados, you like to eat them, you have them in your kitchen, listen up, because the FDA has an important warning against a popular food preservation tip that, of course, is being spread all over TikTok. I look at TikTok as like early Facebook, where if you see something on it, don't just think it's going to be true, because in this case, it's not true and it can be dangerous. The hack involves storing whole avocados in a bottle of water in the fridge. Now, users on TikTok claim that this can keep the avocado fresh for weeks. Here's the thing. The FDA says the tactic can actually harbor bacteria, including salmonella. So the FDA is warning against trying this TikTok hack. All right, so living in Nebraska, living in Texas, I've been to a few rodeos. Never saw anything like this. It was all caught on camera. A bull calling it quits mid-rodeo in California, and he did so not in the way you would expect. Take a look. So it starts with the actual competition. It was an impressive ride on a bucking bull, but after the rider was finally thrown, the bull just got up and left. He decided he was done. He pranced over the guardrail, and I say pranced because he jumped like he was doing an obstacle. So this was the actual competition. eventually, and then they're chasing the bull out. I want to see if I can kind of do a play-by-play. All right, so he's going right, and then wait for it. Boop. I'm right? I mean, that's crazy.
It was practically equestrian.
Well done. Yeah, so the bull actually landed in the VIP section. He made a run through the audience, and it was quite a sight in person.
I was a virgin rodeo attendee. You know the old expression, this ain't my first rodeo? Well, this was definitely my first rodeo.
Runaway bull!
Holy cow, well done. So the runaway didn't run too far. He was captured about a half mile from the rodeo grounds near the local bridge. 5 people did suffer minor injuries. A 15-year-old named Jordan, he was waiting in line in the restroom. The bull came rampaging through. Doctors say Jordan, that teenager, he had some internal bleeding in his leg, but he will be okay. He was bruised a little bit. He hobbled around on crutches. He'll be fine. The guys on horseback ended up catching the bull. And the uninjured animal, this is one of my favorite parts, is now back at the ranch. And the Rodeo Association says that he is just living his best life.
Well, they tried to rope him there, but I mean, you can't rope a bull that's already gone.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh my goodness.
But you know what? A lot of facets here. One, really impressive athletic feat. I mean, he equestrian-like.
Yes.
But also glad no one was seriously injured, because that could have been really bad.
Okay, it's definitely taken a disastrous turn.
I'm sure scary, though, for the people that's
I mean, just imagine sitting there. We live in Texas. We've seen rodeos. We've seen bulls. It just pop. You're like...
It's like, excuse me, you belong back in there. Like, go back.
Excuse me, sir, can you return?
Yeah.
Back to your seat, sir. Thank you, Max.
Thank you.
Right now, 9:09, about 73 degrees, still ahead on GMSA at 9.
The latest on an early morning robbery at a West Side house. Katrina Weber has been following the story this morning.
Plus, we're featuring another college grad who became a voice for the students at all of the Alamo colleges.
And taking a look outside with live cam, one more chance. That's what Justin says we have for rain before, you get back to the 90s. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. She grew up in San Antonio and fell in love with the city and the community.
This is why she became a voice for students on her college campus while attending San Antonio College.
Sarah Costa introduces us to a college great grad who was chosen to represent the 65,000 students on all Alamo College campuses.
After spending her first year at San Antonio Community College, taking all her classes remotely during the pandemic, Asia Leah decided she wanted to get more involved with her campus. She took a massive step and applied for the Alamo College's student trustee position.
The student trustee position, it's all 5 colleges. So it's one student who has the voice of all of the 65,000 students at Alamo colleges to talk directly to the board.
And she got the position. She says she was quickly immersed into not just the campus life of San Antonio Community College, but the entire Alamo College community. The director of student success says after several interviews, Asia's positive attitude and her ability to comfortably talk to any of the students on campus, they knew she was a perfect fit.
She just knew our students, and as a student herself who has experienced a lot, we thought that she would be a good representation of the student voice.
Asia says it's been such a rewarding experience being the voice for the students for Alamo colleges.
Everyone is here to better themselves, better their lives, and of course it transfers onto their generation. So their children, their children's children, it's going to help with their income and just their lives overall. And it's beautiful just to see so many people walking on campus all the time, knowing that they're bettering their lives.
Now that her term is up, she has already been accepted into UTSA, where she plans to continue studying business administration. Then she hopes to one day work for a nonprofit in San Antonio to continue to give back to her community. Sarah Acosta, KSAT 12 News.
9:15, we had showers and storms in the viewing area yesterday, and it's a big area. We didn't see a whole lot of activity here in San Antonio, though.
Not as much as we wanted to. I mean, I smelled the rain and saw the clouds.
So who got the rain, Justin?
The biggest rainfall totals were down to the south and west around Carrizo Springs. Here in San Antonio, it just wasn't much at all. It was some light rain. It was nice to see, but it was not enough. And a part of the problem was yesterday was just a messy pattern. There was a lot going on, and the models just weren't picking up on the right things. Today is a little more concrete because we have a cold front that comes through tonight. And I think that's a little better focus for showers and storms. So there's still some positive news here. I think we still have a good chance for rain tonight. Let's take a look at the rainfall totals yesterday, at least over the last 24 hours. San Antonio International, just 1/100 of an inch. Pearsall, though, about 3/10 of an inch. Cotulla, about 1/2 inch. And then down there in southwestern Demet County, close to 6 to 7 inches, at least estimated by radar. And then northeastern Karnes County, 2 to 3 inches as well. So there were some good numbers, but I think the numbers will be much better, again, as we go into tonight. Right now, we've got mostly cloudy skies, some high clouds still sticking around from those storms earlier. 74 degrees. Dew point is at 65, and east-southeasterly winds at about 3 miles per hour. Temperatures in the 70s around Kerrville. Hondo's at 71, 73 in Cotulla. And locally, mostly mid-70s here in San Antonio and surrounding areas. 73 up there at Canyon Lake. There's the satellite picture. Still, again, some high cloudiness really moving across the area, but some clearing out west. And I think we do eventually see some sun here in San Antonio. Now, that will add to some instability. If we can get some storms going this afternoon, which I think will be isolated, but the chances there could be a couple of strong storms. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But the main show is going to be up, along a cold front as it moves south. And that front right now is moving through parts of West Texas, producing storms there. And there's going to be severe weather out ahead of it. The Storm Prediction Center just updated this, and they've added an area where they think they'll see numerous severe storms, and that's basically the Dallas Metroplex, Tyler, Overdue, Abilene, and even south into parts of the Hill Country. A pretty good bet at severe weather. Now, we're in the scattered range here, but still an opportunity to see strong storms here, and that's mainly going to be overnight tonight. So let's walk you through the forecast here. And here comes the front. This is 6 o'clock. We've got some isolated stuff perhaps out ahead of it. And I'd say rain chances at this point about 30%. As we get into the 10 o'clock hour, storms start to move into the Hill Country. Still just isolated stuff here around San Antonio. Midnight, that's when the storms start to get a little bit closer. Kerrville, Bernie, up into maybe the Blanco area. And then the storms diving south by 3, 4 a.m. And this is where we could see some of our heavy rain, depending on how this line sets up. But again, with the front, it's a little more concrete. We have a better idea where the focus is going to be. And by 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, these showers and storms are starting to move east and out of the area. A few leftover showers through midday, and then after that, the rain's gone. And beyond this, it's a dry forecast and it's a hot forecast. Rainfall potential, how much are we going to see? Well, we're going to stick to our 1 to 3 inches. I know we haven't had much last couple days, but I think with this line, we should get some decent totals, and there could be a few spots that get higher numbers than this, but I think that's generally going to be off to the north and east. You're going to see lower totals as you work west and southwest there along the Rio Grande, probably not near as much rain. The KSAT 12-hour forecast, 20% chance, noontime 80 degrees, 85 at 3 o'clock, 86 by 4 o'clock, 30% chance of rain. And then as we get into tonight, rain chances will eventually start to jump up, probably after 10 o'clock or so, and we're going to put in a 70% chance overnight tonight. Still 40% chance early tomorrow morning. The morning commute could be messy. Keep that in mind. And then clearing tomorrow afternoon. 79. 88 Thursday after starting off at 59. That sounds great, but it really heats up after that. We're looking at mid to even upper 90s by Memorial Day weekend. And if you have plans, it looks dry. It'll just be hot, guys.
We will prepare for that.
Yep.
Thank you, Justin.
9:19, about 73 degrees.
And when we come back, we'll look at our top stories from overnight, including a robbery at a West Side home that left 2 people injured.
San Antonio police hoping 2 men might provide some investigators clues about the people who attacked them early this morning. Both victims suffered cuts at a home on the city's west side.
Katrina Weber is at Morales Street and Northwest 26th Street, where it happened earlier, and tells us this was during a robbery.
When I spoke to officers, they didn't seem to have a full list yet of what was taken. They told me that it appeared that the victims may have lost small items like cell phones. Now, I couldn't help but notice that all along the fence are signs that say no trespassing. Still, that did not keep out the criminals. Police tell us that 2 men were able to jump the fence to the backyard of this home and attack the victims, who are both in their 20s. One of them was cut on his hand. The other suffered cuts to the back of his neck, his arm, and possibly his side. Both of them were rushed to a hospital. The attackers got away. The police searched this neighborhood all around Morales Street but did not find them. They seem to only have a vague description of those men when we talk to them. So there are still a lot of unanswered questions in this case. I spoke briefly with another man who was here at the time of the attack and who we saw talking to police. He told me he slept through the whole thing and doesn't know anything. Reporting from the West Side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
And other top stories from overnight. A man was rushed to the hospital after a home invasion turns into a shooting. Now, this happened around 2:30 this morning at the Exeter Place Apartments, not far from Petranco Road and Loop 1604. This is in West Bexar County. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office reports that 2 people were wearing masks, kicked in the door to one of the apartments. Once they were inside, they started shooting, hitting the victim. No arrests have been made.
Police are also looking for a suspect in a separate shooting on the city's southwest side. This one happened around 12 this morning on a home on 5 Palms, not far from Old Pearsall Road and Loop 410. Investigators say a man was standing in his front yard when someone drove by and shot him in the leg. He was rushed to a local hospital.
And right now, it's not clear what sparked a fire at a business on the city's north side. It happened on Blanco Road, not far from Bassey Road. Crews had to force their way in to knock down the flames. While there's not much fire damage, there is some heavy smoke damage.
Latest now on a love triangle murder case from the Austin metro area. Authorities still searching for 34-year-old Caitlin Armstrong, but now her father is speaking out.
He spoke with ABC's Matt Gutman and says he too has a lot of unanswered questions.
We love you, Katie, and we are going to figure this out.
This morning, the father of missing murder suspect Caitlin Armstrong speaking exclusively with ABC News.
I know her, and I know how she thinks, and I know what she believes, and that I know that she just would not do something like this. I know her. I know her.
He says his daughter is not capable of committing the crime she's charged with, shooting her alleged romantic rival, rising cycling star Mariah Wilson.
That is what they believe. I know that she did not do this. There are a lot of unanswered questions.
According to court documents, the day after Wilson's murder, police questioned Armstrong, confronting her with this surveillance video showing a dark SUV matching her vehicle driving away from the home. Wilson was found with a deadly gunshot wound.
Now that's the camera that captured that Jeep Grand Cherokee driving up this alley. Minutes later, those shots were fired. Wilson was killed. But what's surprising is that none of the neighbors here said they heard anything.
When detectives told Armstrong the video made things not look too good, they wrote in the report she nodded her head up and down as if in agreement. That's when investigators say she asked to end the interview and was allowed to leave. By the next morning, Armstrong's social media accounts were reportedly wiped clean, according to the arrest affidavit, and she vanished. The U.S. Marshals joining the urgent search for her and say she may still be in the Austin area.
She was a realtor. She was a yoga teacher. So she had personal relationships here in the Austin area. We hope that eventually, if she had some type of plan, that maybe she would reach out to those associates and we would receive a tip based upon that.
And that was ABC's Matt Gutman reporting.
Right now, 9:27, about 74 degrees. There's a lot more ahead on GMSA at 9.
Including a more in-depth look at Title 42. We have been talking about it for a while now. However, where did it come from? The KSAT Explains team answers that question and more in their latest episode.
And since it's election day, we're breaking down the top races as we keep our eyes on people as they get out to cast their vote in the runoff election.
Taking a look outside with live cam. No rain in that shot yet. We have one more shot, right, Justin?
One more good chance of rain, and that comes tonight with a frontal boundary. At the moment, we just got some cloud cover. It's going to be a pretty quiet day for the most part, other than a few isolated storms, and then tonight's when those rain chances go up. Well, let's look at the big picture. The rain, the heavy rain missed us to the south overnight. You see Corpus Christi over towards Houston, still seeing some of that. Most of that's moved out into the Gulf of Mexico, but we turn our attention to the north, where we see those storms there along the frontal boundary up along I-20 at the moment, but this will be sinking south throughout the day. 74 degrees right now at the airport, 73 Pleasanton, 71 Kerrville, 68 in Rock Springs, and a lot of 70s at this hour. We'll jump into the 80s here fairly soon. 20% chance of rain noontime, 30% chance by 1 p.m., and we'll keep it a 30% chance through the evening hours. Temperatures up around 86. Even going into tonight, we're still talking about a 30, maybe 40% chance of rain, but it's after, say, 10 o'clock when our rain chances will start to go up. and into early tomorrow morning. The early morning commute could be a little bit messy. And of course, Stephen Cavazos will be all over that. He's also tracking some issues that we have on the roads right now. Let's get the latest, Stephen.
Hey, thanks so much, Justin. And thankfully, the commute right now has been pretty dry. We did have some issues here off 35. Things look like they're moving just fine. We did have that stalled vehicle issues, but that it looks like it has been cleared. And as we see on our map, there in those southbound lanes of I-35 near Eisenhower, that is also the situation. We're not seeing any delays in that area. Let's take a wide look at the map now at 9:32. If you're still at home getting ready for work or maybe just getting ready to head out the door, thankfully, you're not going to encounter major issues in the metro area. But make sure if you're an overnight commuter and you're at home trying to plan ahead, there's still some column work taking place here off Loop 410 on the west side of San Antonio. That is current, and that should be wrapping up on Monday, June 6th. But again, that's for those overnight or early morning commuters, 8 in the evening to 5 in the morning. That's when you'll see those alternating full closures in both directions there at the Gulebra Road intersection. And of course, grab those phones, open up the camera app and scan that QR code. That will take you directly to the KSAT traffic page, and that will have the latest on all those current closures that are taking place in your area and anything else that could impact your drive time. Don't forget to scroll to the bottom of the page. Mark, Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephen. And taking a look at the latest gas prices according to AAA, as we get closer to the Memorial Day weekend, San Antonio average is down a cent from yesterday at $4.25, and the Texas average is down a cent at $4.27. The national average is about the same at $4.59.
Polls are open right now for the Texas primary runoff election. There are more than a dozen runoff races, but among them are a few key races we will be watching closely here at KSAT.
Now, those include the Democratic race for Bexar County Judge, Congressional District 28, and the Republican race for Texas Attorney General.
We'll take a look at each of these races real quick. First up, Democratic race for Bexar County Judge. Former District Court Judge Peter Sakai is running. He led the March primary with 41% of the vote, while State Representative Ina Manjarrez received 31%. The winner will face Republican Trish DeBerry in November. The general election will determine who will succeed Nelson Wolf, who's been Bexar County Judge since 2001.
The next big race we're watching is for the Congressional District 28 seat. Both parties are in the runoff election, but the Democratic candidates have been in a heated battle. Back in March, Immigration Attorney Jessica Cisneros and Congressman Henry Cuellar went back and forth on the lead. While close to 50%, neither cleared that threshold for the nomination.
This is a race to watch closely, especially after the leaked Supreme Court draft, which indicated Roe v. Wade could be overturned. Cuellar was the only House Democrat to vote against federal legislation to codify abortion, which Cisneros has emphasized leading up to the runoff.
The Republican candidates in this race, also in the runoff, the winner between Cassie Garcia and Sandra Whitten, will face either Cuellar or Cisneros in the November election.
And the final race we're watching very closely, the Republican race for Texas Attorney General. Despite an endorsement from former President Trump, Ken Paxton was forced into a runoff against Texas Land Commissioner George P. Bush. Paxton led with 43%, but didn't get the 50% needed to clinch victory.
Democratic candidates for this race are also in the runoff: Rochelle Mercedes Garza and former Galveston Mayor Joe Jaworski. But the GOP runoff winner will likely be the favorite in November.
Again, if you want to take a look at the ballot before you head out to the polls today to vote, you can do that on KSAT.com. Polls close at 7 o'clock. We should get the early vote numbers very soon after that. We'll have all the results online. Of course, the latest numbers on the night beat at 10.
And today's results setting the stage for the midterm general election in November. Election day will be November 8th. And if you haven't registered to vote, you have until October 11th to do so, to participate in the November election.
9:35 right now. Another big topic we've been talking about for the past few days, and it seems like weeks, is Title 42, that controversial immigration policy. It was supposed to expire yesterday, but Friday, a federal judge in Louisiana blocked the Biden administration from ending it. The public health provision allows Customs and Border Protection to reject migrants at the border on the basis of trying to prevent the spread of COVID-19. In early April, the CDC said the policy was no longer needed because of current COVID conditions, vaccines, and treatments. So where did Title 42 come from? What's been the real impact at the border? The KSAT Explains team answers those questions in their latest episode. Take a listen to part of it.
Ahí es terrible, ahí está bien reprimido, no puedes decir nada porque ya te echan la policía. no puedes expresarte bien, tenés que andar siempre con ese miedo.
She was one of the lucky ones who wasn't turned away. And then there's Yamari Gonzalez Vasquez from Cuba. What he fears, he says, is hunger in his home country.
Si estamos pidiendo asilo para tener un mejor futuro, para un futuro para el bebé, para nosotros mismos también, que tenga todo lo que un cubano no puede tener.
And you can watch the full episode online by scanning this QR code on your screen. It'll take you straight to the KSAT.com/explains website. You'll also find past episodes. The new episode of KSAT Explains will air next week at 6:30.
Educator of the Month, brought to you by First Mark Credit Union.
She tells us that she was blessed to have many great teachers, so she wanted to be able to have that kind of an impact on her students as well. We are talking about Jeanette Alcala. She's a 4th grade teacher at Baskin Elementary in SAISD, and she is KSAT's Educator of the Month.
So make sure that you have those filled in. Hi.
Hi, Miss Alcala.
Hi.
Hi, my name is Chris. I'm with KSAT.
Hi.
We came to congratulate you on being Educator of the Month for the month of May.
KSAT's Educator of the Month, Jeanette Alcala, has been a teacher for 16 years. And all 16 years she's been at Baskin Elementary.
What's this one? 40. Okay, look, making sure that was a 4.
During her time at Baskin, Jeanette has taught 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grades. She is back to teaching 4th grade this school year because she moved up with her class from last school year.
They're old enough to be able to communicate more and be able to ask you questions when they're not sure, but they're also still at the age that they'll draw me pictures and they love to give, hugs and all of that. Yeah, so they're not too old yet. They're still at an age that it's easy to have those conversations with and talk to them, but they still love you.
Jeanette Alcala tells us that she works to have a real impact on her students, something that stems from when she was in school. And while she tells us that she has been blessed to have many great teachers, she was first inspired by her kindergarten teacher at Arnold Elementary.
I always go back, it's my kindergarten teacher, and I told her that from the beginning, that just how it was so fun I wanted to be like her, taking the books home and wanting to do things like she did during the day, wanting to teach to my, stuffed animals and my cousins and whoever else I could grab to be my classroom. Break apart 21.
Jeanette still loves teaching, and her passion for the job shines in her work.
She really has a great connection with these kids. Some of them she taught even in kinder, some of them she taught in 3rd grade. So that's been amazing. She's been able to see them grow up. She's passionate, she's dedicated, she's amazing.
Thank you guys, love y'all.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it was cool shooting that. Everybody was very excited for her course, the students included, and she still keeps in touch with her kindergarten teacher.
Fantastic story.
Yeah.
9:39, about 74 degrees.
You're watching GMSA at 9. As many young people graduate from college right now, they're also leaving school with a lot of student debt. After the break, we're going to have some tips to help you pay off that debt faster. And welcome back. It's 9:43. Student loan debt in the U.S. totals more than $1.7 trillion.
Now listen to this. The average student walks away from college with a diploma and at least $40,000 worth of debt.
If you're looking for some simple ways to pay down your debt faster, Ursula Perry has some tips.
If you're drowning in student loans, you're not alone. 43 million people in the U.S. have student loan debt. That's 1 in 8 Americans.
Close to the $50,000 mark. I'd probably have like $40,000 right now. I think the worst part of having student loans is just the anxiety or the fear of not being able to pay them off.
The good news is there is help. First, look into grants. The Forget Your Student Debt grant is open to anyone with student debt and pays $10,000. Other grants are available to specific professionals like teachers, lawyers, veterans, nurses, and social workers. Or you can search for free grants at govloans.gov or in professional association websites. States also have their own grants and assistance programs. So ask your employer about repayment assistance. Some companies offer these programs as benefits to their employees. Also, you can apply for income-driven repayment plans. If you qualify, you may receive forgiveness on remaining loan amounts. You might also want to consider pursuing a public service loan forgiveness program, which forgives loan balances after you've made a certain number of payments while working for an eligible employer. Also, last month, the U.S. Department of Education extended the pandemic-related pause on student loans. That means payments were suspended at 0% interest. A pretty good deal for all involved. Ursula Perry, KSAT 12 News.
9:45.
And we were expecting a lot more rain than we got yesterday, but we still have one more shot.
We still have one more shot that's coming up tonight. So some heavy rain will be a possibility, but hopefully not as heavy as what we saw back in 2015. Real quickly, we want to take you back in time. I think a lot of people remember this. The Blanco River back in 2015 had the huge flood. It was right around Memorial Day weekend, and there was 10 to 13 inches of rain. The Blanco River crested at 44.9 feet. It was a wall of water. Sadly, we lost some lives during this event. It was a big one, and that was a rainy year, and that was definitely a rainy May. We haven't been dealing with that kind of rain, but again, we do have the potential for some showers and storms tonight. Let's go outside for you and look at the time lapse. This was last night. There were some showers, and then overnight we just didn't see much. Those storms didn't materialize. And as I said earlier, yesterday was kind of a messy setup. We were watching a couple little disturbances coming through. Tonight, we have something more concrete to work with, a frontal boundary that should focus the rain. And that's why we're a little more hopeful for some showers and storms overnight tonight. 74 degrees right now, east-southeasterly winds at about 3 miles per hour. Dew point is at 65. And you see some of the cloud cover that's over top of us now. Mostly thin high clouds, and these should start to thin out a little bit more. But right at the top of your screen, you notice some clouds up there. That's associated with the front. And that'll be sinking south throughout the day. A little closer look at temperatures, 73 Halota, 72 Bernie Stage, 73 Canyon Lake, 76 right now in New Braunfels. And here is the setup. We have a frontal boundary, as I mentioned, storms, showers and storms ongoing this morning, but they should become more robust as we head into the afternoon hours. Numerous severe storms expected today, according to the Storm Prediction Center, from Dallas over to Abilene, down towards the Waco area. And we're included in this scattered area, but that's going to be later tonight as the front gets a little bit closer to us. So 6 o'clock, there's going to be quite a few storms stretching from San Angelo up to Dallas. For us, maybe just an isolated storm or two. Then as we get towards 10 o'clock, still probably fairly quiet, but the storms are starting to move into the hill country. And then by midnight, storms are getting a little bit closer. And then as we get into the overnight hours, say 3, 4 a.m., showers and storms look to be a good bet. This is where we could see some of our heavier rain. This is where we could see some of those stronger storms as well. This lingers into the morning commute. This is around 7 a.m. before it finally moves out. Midday, a couple of leftover showers, and then it clears out by Wednesday afternoon, and then we're done with the rain. It's a dry forecast from there on out. So tonight, we're pinning our hopes on tonight, and I still think we could pick up 1 to 3 inches of rain with that line as it moves through. There's going to be some pockets where it could be a little bit heavier, and then you'll find lower amounts as you go south and west of town, where we could see less than an inch in some cases. But thankfully, those are areas that saw some good rain yesterday and last night. So our KSAT 12-hour forecast, 20% chance of rain noontime, 30% chance of rain 3 o'clock, 30% chance of rain at 4 p.m. Again, if we see anything today during the daytime hours, it'll just be isolated. And that even goes into this evening, 79 at 8 o'clock. But it's tonight where we put in that 70% chance of rain. And then some lingering showers tomorrow morning, 40% chance. 79 on your Wednesday, 88 Thursday. We start off at 59. That's going to be nice. But 91 Friday, 94 Saturday, 97 on Sunday. Memorial Day weekend's hot, dry. And even Memorial Day, we're talking about 95. So the rain basically shuts off here. It's tonight that we do have to watch very closely. Meteorologist Sarah Spivey will be here tonight, and I'll be back early tomorrow morning. We'll keep you posted on how it all plays out, guys.
Thank you, Justin.
Fingers crossed. Thank you, Justin. Well, the sequel to Top Gun finally arrives in theaters as we head into the weekend.
CNN's Rick Damangelo takes a look at the history of the franchise as we get ready to take flight this weekend.
Good morning, aviators. This is your captain speaking.
36 years after the original movie took to the skies, Top Gun Maverick is flying into theaters.
I have to admit, I wasn't expecting an invitation back.
They're called orders, Maverick.
The long-awaited sequel starring Tom Cruise as Pete Maverick Mitchell has much history to outmaneuver.
Need for Speed.
The original Top Gun launched in May 1986, shooting down $357 million at the worldwide box office. The movie's soundtrack album soared to #1 on the Billboard charts, earning new wave band Berlin an Academy Award for Best Original Song for Take My Breath Away. A squadron of video games from 1987's Top Gun to 2010's Top Gun Hardlock have simulated the danger zone of aerial combat in the decades between movies. Top Gun Maverick was on course to land sooner, but it had its mission temporarily scrubbed. Deadline reported its first delay, pushing it back from June 2019 to July 2020. Multiple pandemic delays grounded the film until its world premiere in April at the movie theater owners event CinemaCon in Las Vegas. And now, just over 36 years since the original took flight, Top Gun Maverick, with multiple positive reviews as its wingman, is headed at Mach 1 into movie theaters. Requesting a flyby in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
All right, so 3 things real quick. One, it had 100% on Rotten Tomatoes the other day. I've never seen that before.
Oh, I haven't either.
It's got 97% right now. 2, the spy plane depicted in Top Gun 2, and I'm not going to give it all away, but apparently just the showing of it in the trailer had the Chinese, this is real, had the Chinese government so concerned we had a jet they didn't know about, they retasked a spy satellite to get a better look, and I guess at the mock-up of this stealth jet that doesn't really exist. And finally, the other question, remember back when Top Gun came out? Navy recruiters were having a field day, remember?
Yeah, so
the question is, what will happen this time? Will people be lining up again to say,
I think so.
I'd like to be a pilot?
I think so. Yeah, I think it will, bring up enthusiasm again. But you know what? On the Rotten Tomatoes, I think no matter what that came out with, you were going to go see it anyway.
Oh, yeah. I am, definitely. A lot of people already have their tickets. I'm not going to be surprised if shows sell out this weekend. And when's the last time you heard that?
It's been a while.
Been a long
while
time.
for that. But Mark's been patiently waiting because we would promote it and then it would get pushed back and we would say it's coming. And
she's being sweet. It was impatiently waiting. We all know that.
It's finally happening this weekend.
Yeah, 9:52, about 75 degrees.
We'll be right back. And coming up tomorrow on GMSA at 9, it's Katie's Science Lab on the road, and it's one of her last ones for this school year.
Tomorrow, she and David Sears will be out at Cody Elementary on the far west side. They're going to be doing a fun project with a 2nd grade class there, and you do not want to miss it.
That's right. And students at Boone Elementary School are going home this summer with brand new books. Tomorrow on GMSA at 9, we're going to tell you how these students raised money to buy books for their own school and for students at a neighboring campus.
And we've got that good chance of rain tonight. Showers and storms, a few strong storms and some pockets of heavy rain. It all clears out tomorrow afternoon.
Sure hope we get it.
I hope so too. Have a great day, guys.